हेलो फ्रेंड्स, केजी क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है। आज हम आपको रॉबर्ट ब्राउनिंग के शॉर्ट आंसर और क्रोनोलॉजी ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप क्वेश्चन के बारे में बताएंगे। क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट, राइट ए नोट ऑन फेल्योर ऑफ ब्राउनिंग। आंसर, द मोस्ट मार्क्ड फीचर ऑफ ब्राउनिंग्स पोएट्री इज हिज प्रोफाउंड इंटरेस्ट इन कैरेक्टर। ही इज ए ग्रेट मास्टर ऑफ द आर्ट ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटिंग द इनर साइड ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, their mental and moral qualities. Hence the claim is sometimes made for him that he is a great dramatic poet. This is a claim which cannot be substantiated. He cannot interest us in his plot or represent his dramatic personage in action. He catches his characters in a cool moment of introspection or of guarded self-revelation, and he let us see in their made the cases and result of previous action, as few other poets have been able to do, but directly behold them actually carrying out their plans. We feel a sense of failure. Their words cease to appropriate and become too often conventional and sometimes grotesque. The poet's senses of fitness and even his sense of humor desert him despite his great appetency for the drama. Says Herford, he could not get success in drama. It was through no mere perversity of chance, but through their own proper demerit, that Browning's plays failed on the broads. He was lacking in some of the most essential qualification of the dramatist. Question second, write a note on Browning's genius. Mrs. Orr, in her admirable handbook to Browning's work, points out that Browning's genius was dramatic as well as metaphysical. He was gifted with an almost unlimited power to imagination, which was always exerted upon real things, visible or invisible, that is to say, on everything that a human being can think or feel. He is realistic because he is never visionary. He treats of visual realities, the experiences of men and women, and this makes him a dramatic poet. He also treats of invisible realities, the spiritual and the abstract, and this makes him a metaphysical poet. Just as these two realities, the visual and the invisible, the spiritual and the physical, are inseparable in human life, so the dramatic and the metaphysical in the genius of Browning are inseparable. His poetry is dramatic and metaphysical at the same time. He is dramatic because he deals with the character and conduct of men and women in completely living forms. But he is also philosophical at some time because he also analyzes the motives and spiritual consequences of human action, spiritual and abstract truth which cannot be illustrated through human conduct and experience. Life outside the range of his philosophy, such threats are regarded by him as divine mysteries lying beyond the pale of human thoughts. Next question, discuss Browning aesthetic sense. Answer, but this is not to say that he had no aesthetic sense or that he did not care for the beauty of form. He has invented a number of poetic forms which are of age for reaching a significance as the invention, sage of sonnet. None has equaled him in the handling of the dramatic monologue. His artistic principle was that a poet should under no circumstances sacrifice sense to sound. Hence, he often seems to be careless of music and melody, but when sense and sound combine, as they often do in his poetry, he is able to achieve a music more melodious and sweet than can ever be possible for those who care for sound alone. He is one of the greatest metrical artists in the English language. He invented a large variety of verse forms and used them with consummate success. His use of the grotesque is usually artistically justified. There is much in nature which is grotesque, fantastic, and absurd, and similarly there is much in thoughts which is grotesque and fantastic. Such was Browning's genius that he had a predilection for the grotesque and the old, both in the world of nature and in the world of man, as well as in the world of nature and in the world of man, as well as in the world of thoughts. And his grotesque queries of manner are entirely in harmony with the peculiarity of his genius. As one critic has said, he is the greatest poet of grotesque in the English language. Next question is, discuss Ravi Ben Ezra as a great religious poems. Answer. This poem has been regarded as the finest meditative and reflective poem in the English language. It has been called a great religious poem. Admiring it, Arthur Simon has said that in Ravi Ben Ezra, Browning has crystallized his religious philosophy into a shape of abiding beauty. It has been called not rashly the noblest of modern religious poems. Alike in substance and in forms, it belongs to the higher order of meditative poetry, and it has in Browning's work an almost unique of grave beauty, so severe restraint of earnest and measure. Enthusiasm. What the psalm of life is to the people who do not think Ravi Ben Ezra might and should be to those who do. A light through the darkness, a lantern of guidance, and a beacon hope to the wanderer lost and weary. So cute a huge baka. There is no dogma in his Browning's utterance, nothing distinctive of the Jews or even of the Christian faith. What he says might be appropriately put into the mouth of a Socrates or a St. Francis of Assisi. For the purest religion is of any creed or of none. The poem is the embodiment of all that deepest in Browning's philosophy of religion and all that is highest in his morality. Now where else except in Pop and Ring and the book can we be sure that we have Browning's own thoughts, just the best that he can conceive, unaltered and unmodified by dramatic conditions. So the religious belief and ideas expressed in the poem are not sectarian but universal. They are the just juice of the true, good and the beautiful. Next question. Write a short note on the style and versification in Ravi Ben Ezra. Answer. The poem is in the form of dialogue between the old scholar Ezra and a youth, but both the parts are performed by one person, Ravi Ben Ezra. Hence the poem is a monologue. We come across frequently the speeches within inverted commas. These speeches are of his hedonist youth. The speeches without inverted commas are those of the Ravi and are the mouthpiece of Browning himself. The style of the poem no doubt presents certain difficulties to the readers. It is not entirely free from the grotesqueness and obscurity of the poet. There are a number of inverted construction and omission which make stanzas like the 9th, 12th, 22, 29th, and many others. Rather difficult to follow without an exhaustive commentary. At least one line in the poem has been criticized by all critics as ugly and revolting. IRKS Scarecrow full word fret about doubt the Mayo-creamed beast. The poem may be a little difficult, but there is certainly no obscurity of thought in it. Every line can be understood after a line painstaking reading and rereading, and the imagery of the poem is exquisite. It is also symbolic, such in the image of the potter and his wheel. Objective type question. Question: Robert Browning was born in May 7 in answer 1812. Question: Robert Browning was belonged to answer England. Question: Browning went for a term to a Greek class at answer Gower College. Question: When did Browning visit Russia? Answer 1834. Question: When was Mrs. Browning dead? Answer 1861. Question: Robert Browning was a famous poet of answer Victorian age. Question: 1400 copies a Browning famous work printed Hohensiel Schwangan Schwangan were sold only within 5 days in the year. Answer 1871. Question: Who is the contemporary of Browning? Answer Tennyson. Question: Where was Browning's son settled as an artist? Answer Italy. Question: Browning passed away in answer 1889. Question: Browning will die in a white leaf. Who said? Answer Tennyson. Question: The form of the poem The Last Ride Together is answer dramatic monologue. Robert Browning chronology. 1812 May 7 born at Camberwell. 1819 learns Greek at University College, Gower Street. 1832 Pollen, a fragment of a confusion written. 1833 Pollen published. 1833-34 visits Russia. 1834 returned to London and began to contribute to the monthly repository. 1834 Paracelsus published. 1837 Strafford, his tragic play produced. 1838 visits Venice, write how they brought the good news from Ghent to Aix and home thought from the sea. 1840 Sordello published. 1841 Pepe Passes published. 1842 King Victor and King Charles published. Dramatic lyrics appeared. 1843 The Return of the Dresses and a blot in Scutcheon 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 published. 1844 Colombo's Birthday appeared in Autumn Visits Italy again. 1845 Dramatic Romances and Lyrics published met Elizabeth Moulton, his future wife. 1846 married Elizabeth Moulton at Marylebone Parish Church on September 16. Returned to England. Bells and Pomegranates published. 1849 The only child Robert Barrett Browning, born at Casa Gidi. 1850 Christmas Eve and Easter Day published. 1855 Man and Women published. 1861 Mrs. Browning's death. Brownings began to live in London. 1864 Dramatis Personae published. 1867 The University of Oxford confers on him the degree of M.A. is elected to a fellowship at Balliol College. Nominated to the Lord Rectorship of University of St. Andrews. 1868 to 69, The Ring and the Book published. 1871, Volusian's Adventure and Prince Hortensius Schwanenberg published. 1872, Fifine at the Fair published. 1873, Red Cotton Nightcap Country published. 1876, Pacchiarootto and Other Poems published. 1878, La Saisiaz Siege published. 1879 to 80, two series of dramatic idylls appeared. 1883, Joka Seria published. 1887, Parleying with Certain People of Importance in Their Day published. 1876 to 89, 5 volumes of short poem published. 1889, Esolando published. 1889, died December 12. Thanks, best of luck.